Welcome to the International Yoga Day. Yoga is a poem of moments, and when you talk about poem of moments and being aware of your surroundings, I thought what best to connect with Sunita, who has volunteered to talk about yoga and the benefits. So welcome Sunita to my episode.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Would you please introduce yourself and do the honors of telling everyone how you've been connected with your journey in yoga?
Yeah, so I'm Sunita Maheshwari. I'm a E200 RYT, which means an experienced yoga teacher, since I have been practicing from last 9 to 10 years now. And I'm on my way to becoming a 500 hours yoga teacher in October.
Kudos to you.
Thank you. So my journey in yoga started when one of my friends, she was suffering from fibromyalgia, and none of these modern medicines would help her. She had gone to the chiropractitioners, acupuncture, and many other allopathic doctors, in London, in US, in India, and it would not help her at all. And she was like almost bedridden. If we hadn't got the yoga on time, she would have been bedridden by now. So the fibromyalgia is a kind of disease where you have pain all over the body, and it is your own body attacking the cells, it's an autoimmune disease. So when we went to the doctor, he said that what cure we have today is what she can do is just yoga and swimming. So she learned swimming, of course, and then when we started going for the yoga, we went to several schools here in Dubai, but I found that they were too much into money culture. And the teacher would have a large number of students, and they were not corrected properly with their
postures.
Alignments were not okay. Each one they were standing or sitting and doing the asanas the way they wanted. In general, one teacher would take a class, and she wanted to wind up in 1 hour's time or 50 minutes, and so people were not corrected. So I thought, why not go for, I had an initial yoga idea about yoga being from India, but not fully. And I was teaching in my own school in Delhi. So I decided to go for a teacher's training, and at that time I got when you hunt for it, the universe conspires to give
Absolutely,
it to you.
absolutely. It's the law of attraction.
That surely is. So at that point in time, Phoebe Sanzes, she's my teacher from Yoga Alliance, and that was her first year. She started the teacher's training here in Dubai.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm one of her first students, and we were just 4 students in the class, so she had absolute 1:1, the way the teaching went by. It was really great, I must say. The way they teach the Yoga Alliance, I should say that they don't teach so well in some places in India, like Rishikesh and all, where you have 1 month's course, but the students are so many that it becomes difficult for the gurus to teach them properly. So we learned hands-on for 2 years under her in Dubai, going through all the alignments, the postures. She corrected us. And when I came back, in the meantime, she told us to practice also in those 2 years' time. So I was helping my friend out, and I noticed that there was a difference in her pain, and she could sleep better. The way she was always walking at night, and she was irritated the next morning.
Of course.
Yeah, so initially I started out in order to help her, and I would make her practice.
So nice. I mean, who would do that in this day and age? Nice, very nice.
So I continued my practice, and I still, after I finished learning and graduating, becoming a teacher in yoga, I was, by God's blessings, I had enough. I didn't want to become a commercialized teacher. So I was just training her. So it was a 1:1 class for her, and I myself would do it along with her. So we would practice for ourselves. And later on, due to some personal circumstances which I went through, yoga really held my hand very gently, and guided me to, my journey in life. It became like yoga because I derived a lot from it. Whatever I'm learning or I have learned is through yoga, I would say.
It's a very blessed journey for
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
because
definitely.
not just learning but also giving and sharing is a big part.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, Aarti. So I always like to give it back. So every 6 months I do have a free yoga sessions for 1 month.
Wow, so I'm sure a lot of people can benefit out of this, and it'll be so good, Sunita, that people can connect with you through this channel and obviously, inspire and obviously take the inspiration from your journey so far.
Yeah.
That's really nice. That's
Yeah.
really nice. I have a couple of questions for you. So, like, it's a World Yoga Day, and obviously we spoke about yoga. What do you think are some of the benefits of yoga?
So the benefits of yoga are vast. One of the benefits I just described, that it helps in curing physical ailments, illnesses. It keeps them at bay. Besides, of course, everybody in the world knows that it's meant for flexibility.
Yes.
But more than that, more than flexibility, it's about balance, the body posture. Then you have, mindfulness.
Yes.
It detoxifies your body.
Wow.
Then immunity. The immune system is so high that you don't catch diseases very easily, and there's a lot of focus. Stress levels are absolutely gone when you do yoga. But provided that you follow all the 8 limbs of yoga.
Okay.
Then you have a control of your mind, body, and your breath. So, I feel that yoga can guide you into your life, what you want.
Sure.
Because, of course, you have to follow it and a lot of practice is required, a lot of dedication is required. And what the person wants, they get it. That's my feeling. I have noticed that with all the students, they have told me that they come with a certain aim, and when they become so focused due to yoga practices, that they get this, the determination, your third eye chakra becomes so sharp, and that you want to achieve what you set out for. Otherwise, you're just dreaming, oh, I should do,
Yes.
Yeah, that's
True. And is there a particular time to start yoga? Like, you start young or start old? Or some people say, okay, after I retire, I will do yoga. That's my journey.
Yeah, so actually, there is a particular time, in the sense you should start yoga when you're as young as 8 years old.
Wow.
8 to 9, so that the children, they can understand the instructions of the guru.
Yes.
And if you don't start early, then what I have noticed for myself as well, you go into life with a lot of stress and with a lot of ailments, and then you want to hold the hand of yoga. Still, yoga holds your hand. Yoga holds your hand at any age.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, at any time. Summer, winter, and that yoga is meant for the young, for the old, for hot, for cold weather, yeah, for young, for disabled, for able, for disabled, and for any people from all walks of life can do yoga. But the best age would be to do when you're
Much
about,
younger.
8 years, so that you come out as a well-rounded personality, and you don't have problems. And
I think a lot of schools these days are starting meditations as instead of replacing punishments with or timeouts with meditation, so people can kind of reflect on what they've done.
Definitely.
So far, most schools
It's
are
beautiful.
engaging into do that. So I guess that's also in part of initiating yoga into people's lives.
Yes, definitely.
Interesting. That's nice. And is there a particular time to do yoga? Like most people say, okay, yoga in the first part of the day or early morning and things like that. So is there anything which you recommend?
Yeah, I would say definitely early morning would be the best time. That is from 3:30 to 5:30 is Brahma Muhurat,
Okay.
which we say where the energy and the positivity and the atmosphere is very high. It's very low negativity, and the energy levels are very high in the atmosphere, which has been even spoken by the scientists and things like that. So that is a real time to tap in all the energies.
Awesome.
But you can practice when you practice in the morning. Your whole day you can devote to your other types of vocations or whatever work you're doing with a lot of focus. And if you're in a corporate world like yours, so you have a lot of meetings, so you go in with a very focused, balanced mind, and you go and attend your office without screaming, shouting, or
Nice. It's a
getting
calm mind,
angry.
calm
Yeah, with
mind.
a calm mind. But you can do even in the evening for relaxation. So you have yoga postures and asanas and breath technique where you can relax your body and release all the stress of the day. But Guru Iyengar, he says that every time you do yoga, your bowel movement should be clear or emptied
Okay.
before you attempt any asana. So that is only a prerequisite, yeah.
And you were talking about 8 limbs and life through yoga. So what do you think is a life of a yogi, according to you?
Yeah, a true yogi, I don't think most of us are true yogi actually. We are just practicing only about 2 or 3, 4 limbs of yoga. We have about 8 limbs of yoga, which is the Yama, which is the rules which have been laid down by Patanjali in his Yoga Sutras. you know.
Okay.
So the Yama is your rules for social behavior
Okay.
with the outside world. Then you
Sure.
have niyamas, which is for your personal behavior and hygiene. Then you have asanas, the
Yes.
physical postures. Then you have the pranayam, which is breath,
Yes.
vital life force. And you have pratyahara, which is withdrawal of the senses of perception.
Okay.
Okay. Then you have dharana, which is a control of mind. All these, when you have, then you can get
Wow.
into meditation, dhyan.
Yes.
Yeah, which is the 7th limb of yoga, and finally the samadhi, which is a pure consciousness. So,
Wow.
very few yogis are practicing all the 8 limbs. Especially, I don't think the city yogis are actually into this 8 limbs.
I can understand.
Maybe in the Himalayas, yeah, most Indian yogis are doing this.
Most people think yoga is for weight loss and is only for using for weight loss and flexibility. So I think you've pretty much answered that.
Yeah, so if you follow, actually yoga does facilitate weight loss, but you need to follow these 8 limbs properly, correctly. So, and also yoga is also associated, a part of Ayurveda is connected to yoga. So with proper diet and lifestyle changes, following the 8 paths, your body, your mind, your senses are all working in the optimum levels. When you're working at an optimum level, how do you gain weight? You will eat mindfully, you will talk mindfully, you will sit mindfully, your thoughts are not negative. So all these are all taken care of in yoga itself.
I think they say also a pure mind reflects pure deeds, and pure deeds reflect sort of enlightenment or a pure heart, a journey to
Yes,
pure heart.
definitely.
And probably that's, I think, what yoga is all about.
Yes, initially yoga was in the Patanjali Sutras. It says that yoga was to connect the human spirits with the divine.
Wow.
Yeah, so all of us are divine souls, right?
Yes.
And we needed to connect to the Supreme Being. And how? By following the 8 limbs. So my behavior towards you should be good. It brings about loving, kindness, gratitude,
Yes.
thoughtfulness, compassion, like you have shown to the people in
Thank you so
JLT.
much.
Yeah, so those are all, a part of yoga. It is not, yoga is not just, doing exercise on the mat or doing your breathing. That is not just yoga.
It's a journey, right?
Yeah, it's a complete journey.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me on my journey in this quest, and I really appreciate all your thoughts. I'm sure a lot of viewers watching will obviously get enlightenment, will be encouraged, will be inspired, and I'm sure a lot of people would love to reach out to you after this, which I'm surely definitely going to support and encourage.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for creating the awareness. Thank you so much for contributing, compassionately, giving, and thank you for ensuring the
Thank you.
interest. Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you so much.